A case out of the United States has raised serious concern about how immigration officials handle legal visa holders. Dr. Rasha Alavi, a respected Lebanese doctor and assistant professor at Brown Medicine, was recently deported despite having a legally valid H-1B visa, which allows highly skilled professionals to work in the US. You know what? Her case has sparked outrage as court documents reveal that her deportation was not only unjustified but also in direct violation of the federal judge's order to halt her removal. Dr. Alavi had traveled to Lebanon to visit her family and was returning to resume her job at Brown Medicine. However, upon her arrival at Boston Logan International Airport, she was detained by Customs and Border Protection for over 36 hours with no explanation. According to legal filing, during that period of time, she was detained access to her attorneys and her family had no way of reaching her out. On Friday, a US District Court judge issued an order stating that she could not be removed from the country without 48 hours notice and that a justification for her detention must be provided. Despite this legal order, CBP proceeded with her deportation, putting her on a flight back to Lebanon over the weekend. This case raises several legal and ethical concerns about the treatment of visa holders and the extent to which government agencies are held accountable for their actions. Court filings state that CBP willfully disobeyed the judge's order, making this case not only just wrongful deportation, but also a potential violation of judicial authority. This incident has left many immigration experts, legal professionals, and human rights advocates questioning whether similar cases have occurred without public attention or not. Dr. Alavi was not an undocumented immigrant or a temporary visitor. She was an established medical professional working under the legal framework of immigration authorities. Her H-1B visa is part of a program that allows American employers to hire highly skilled foreign workers in specialized fields, particularly in industries facing labor shortage. The medical sector, in particular, relies heavily on immigrant professionals, with nearly 30% of all US doctors being foreign-born. Now let's delve deeper. Who exactly is Rasha Alavi? Well, Dr. Rasha Alavi has an extensive background in medicine and education. Earned her medical degree from the American University of Beirut back in 2015, completed her residency at American University of Beirut Medical Center in 2018, worked at Ohio State University, the University of Washington, and Yale Waterbury Internal Medicine program before taking on facility position at Brown Medicine. Currently serves as an assistant professor at Brown Medicine, a role that involves both medical research and patient care. Her colleagues at Brown Medicine have expressed deep concern over her sudden deportation, stating that her absence has disrupted the hospital's workflow and left others scrambling to cover her duties. While immigration enforcement is a national security priority, the question remains, why was a respected medical professional removed without due process? Well, CBP has maintained that it follows strict protocols to determine who is eligible to enter the US. In fact, a spokesperson for the agency, Hilton Beckham, stated that arriving aliens bear the burden of establishing admissibility to the United States. However, his response do not explain why Dr. Alavi, who had a valid visa and had previously been admitted into the country under the same status, was suddenly not allowed. It also fails to justify why CBP ignored a federal court order and proceeded with her removal. However, legal team has filed an emergency request to have her return to the US immediately. The case is now being reviewed and a court hearing is scheduled for Monday morning to determine the legal step. Legal experts argue that if CBP is found guilty of ignoring a judicial order, it could lead to a major legal battle over executive authority and judicial oversight. Well, Dr. Alavi's case is not just about one individual. It highlights a much broader issue with US immigration enforcement. In recent years, there has been numerous cases where visa holders, permanent residents, and even a US citizen have been detained or deported under questionable circumstances. This case also raises concern about how immigration laws are applied inconsistently, with some individuals facing extreme scrutiny while others pass through the system without any issue. The medical field in the US depends on thousands of skilled foreign workers to fill crucial positions, specifically as the country faces a growing shortage of doctors and healthcare professionals. In fact, let me tell you the truth. The US healthcare system cannot afford to lose highly trained doctors due to bureaucratic errors or policy misinterpretation. Dr. Alavi's case will continue to unfold in the court, but the bigger question remains: how many other legal immigrants could face similar situation? If CBP is allowed to deport legal visa holders without any consequences, does this set a dangerous precedent for others as well? As legal experts and immigration advocates push for answers, this case serves as a crucial moment to examine the power of federal agencies, the protection of immigrants under the US law, and the accountability of those who enforce immigration policy. Whether this was a bureaucratic mistake or a sign of a more aggressive stance on legal immigration, the outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications for visa holders, professionals, and foreign workers in the US. The next court hearing will be crucial in determining whether the government will be held accountable for violating the court's order and what steps will be taken to bring Dr. Alavi back to the US.